I'm Lacey, and I'm sat with the one, the only Frank Mir. And tomorrow night, we're going to make history cage side as we are here for UFL 1.
So we're at the Comfort Suites, Phoenix Airport, because everything was crazy booked out because of Waste Management, Barrett Jackson, and the Super Bowl. And not only was it booked out, but prices were astronomical.
Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a f, that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season, I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving, don't give a f, I don't care. Did the by my lonesome, no wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run, all I really want is my share. Get on my God, I told him it's nothing. In the discussion, go them feelings, I throw all my pain on percussion. It's disgusting, I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you on my spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode.
Sports Illustrated wrote an article with John Morgan for us.
Oh my gosh, you just made my whole day. I appreciate
You're
you.
not Brian, I'm serious about reading it out
thought
loud.
you were reading.
You stole my phone.
I need to read it. It's really good.
You stole my phone. How are you not
Really
gonna
good.
let
This
me?
is a great phone. People keep sending you pictures as well. This is weird. Whoa.
Oh no.
Jack's good, right? Jack's good.
That's not true. He doesn't send photos like that.
Things are kind of off to a rocky start. They always are, supposedly, with the commission weigh-ins. The fighters are there. They're cutting weights. They're cramping up. They're just waiting to get on the scale and get out of there. Luckily, Sophia says that the commission is almost there. They're just running a little late.
They have the same itinerary everyone else has. I sent it to them. I sent it to them a week ago.
30 minutes. So it's not as bad as yesterday. So it's half an hour. I'll let them know it's 30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes. Commission time.
Yeah, last time I rushed it a little bit, and this time I'm just gonna sip it nice and slow and make sure I get the weight back nice and clean.
Can you explain what you had to do last time for weight?
Oh, yeah, last time we got the call pretty late. It's 2 weeks out till the fight, and we did 30 pounds in 2 weeks. This time we had 4, so we had a little bit longer this time.
Man, cutting weight is a weird thing to do. You go to a real different spot in your head. You think about this for hours. All you want is this. All you want is water. It's a beautiful thing. It's a dark thing, and it's a beautiful thing.
Barbas is going to be officially sponsored by F3 Energy.
Nice.
So, Frank, I kid you not. When you try this, we only have citrus clarity right now. We're waiting on the other flavors, but... Oh, wait, you tried the sample, didn't you?
It was the one you didn't like. It was the awful one.
Okay.
You're like, this is really, really bad. And I was like, yeah, that
The
wasn't
sample.
great.
This one, game-changing. I'm
No, I'm
gonna-
excited to try some. When do you think that'll be?
We
Do I gotta go
have
buy one, or
No. We're gonna have a beer. Yeah.
how do you feel when you drink it?
Exactly. It not only gives you that physical energy, Jack, but
And you like it like a good clean dry? Because you know some energy drinks, you get that jittery shit. You're like, I'm still tired. I'm just fucking, my heart's pounding.
yep. The So I've started intermittent fasting.
Anything sugary breaks you fast.
Oh.
Anything in the do you brush your teeth in the morning?
Uh-huh.
The toothpaste? Yeah, you're not intermittent fasting.
Well,
Sorry, buddy.
no.
You should have watched the fucking videos.
But what I mean also is if I drink an energy drink when I haven't eaten, I feel so crappy.
Oh, okay.
But when I'm
These no, right?
when I'm incorrectly intermittent fasting and I drink F3 in the morning, even on an empty stomach, I feel so freaking good.
Oh, I'm excited, man. We'll get some right now once we're done here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk about intermittent fasting, dude. You got to use hydrogen peroxide in the morning. That's what you brush your teeth with.
Clifton keeps telling me.
I thought you knew that.
An episode of freaking night.
So what we do in the morning, bro, when you first wake up, use hydrogen peroxide, squirt like about 2 or 3 teaspoons into your mouth, and then use your toothbrush to brush your teeth. And then once you can fast, you break your fast, then you can brush your teeth with regular toothpaste. And like at nighttime is when I do my toothpaste and Sonicare, and I use the water pick, and because you're within your window.
I was doing that for a minute, but I didn't like the breath.
Actually, it made my teeth whiter. I'm having better results with the dentist.
With the peroxide?
Yeah, because it kills all the bacteria in your teeth and shit. I like hydrogen peroxide. I love it. I mean, I had to get over the fact that when you first put it in your mouth, it bubbles up. Yeah, it made me gag at first, but now I'm like, I have a bad gag. I'd be a bad woman. I have a bad gag.
Jose Delgado. I got my own Jose Delgado.
Jose's the one I like a lot, right?
But that's the one I like a lot.
We all do.
Yeah.
He's the 45-pounder, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's got a great personality too, because that's the thing too. Like there's guys out there that are skilled fighters. Jose's a great striker. Got great wrestling. Great kicks too. Like you know what I mean? Like really like great combinations.
Yeah, he's well rounded.
Yeah. But like when you talk to him, I like him as a person. There's nothing worse for me than like seeing some kid fight phenomenally, and then when he walks out of the cage, I talk to him for a few minutes, I'm like, you're a prick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's me though. I'm old school. Like martial arts is like
it's
more than just fighting.
Yeah, it's honor.
Like,
Respect.
Well, Shane, he always puts on crazy fights. So,
but what's his name?
He's the dude, Shane. Remember, he got knocked down and got up and knocked out. Like, it was like one of the craziest fights I've ever commentated for 15 seconds. And then the only thing that was funny was like, I really wasn't hurt. I'm like,
He looked like he was hurt.
And I said, no, own it. You were hurt. That's impressive. You came back and recovered that quickly. Fired off such a vicious left hook on a good fighter.
Yeah.
You didn't do that to a bum. You did that to another stud.
And what's crazy is he's fighting this one, and so are the 2 people he beat fighting in this one.
Oh, nice.
And they're fighting each other. The
two guys he beat.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. A good matchup.
I like Shane's personality too. He's a little bit of.
He's humble as heck. Shane, he'll be the first to admit that he felt he was going to lose both of them, but dude is humble.
That's why it makes fighting so exciting.
So tomorrow night, right here, we will witness history, and we're going to welcome 20 fighters to the scales. Okay, let's get it started. We kick off tomorrow night in the lightweight division. Welcome to the scales, John Simon.
My name's John Simone. I fight out of American Top Team Portland. I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
I've been fighting about 10 years now, professional 4 or 5 years. I'm fighting Quentin Culpepper. I think he's a black belt out of Georgia. I recently got my black belt too, but I've been wrestling my whole life. I've done jiu-jitsu about 10 years now. MMA, I grew up, just watching my whole life pretty much. My whole family's into MMA. My mom used to do judo. My aunts, my uncles, my brother, my sister, we all wrestle. So it's something that runs in the family. I'm out here with my coaches, my corners. We're doing a little shakeout before the fight tonight. Get a little sweat going, get the body moving, get the muscles warm, loose. Just kind of get a little bit of that fight feel right before the fight. So I did cut weight for this fight. I usually cut around 15-20 pounds. I'll diet down, work out, low calories for a little bit, high protein, low carbs. And then about the week of the fight is when I really start to cut the water out. Sauna, running, hot tub, whatever gets me sweating. And the day before, it's not easy at all to cut the last few pounds, but with my team there, we get it done. I think the fight is going to go to the ground. He's a black belt, I'm a black belt, I like to wrestle, but I've been working on my stand-up a lot lately, my boxing, my kickboxing. I've improved a lot. I've got 4 or 5 knockouts as a pro, a lot of knockouts as an amateur, so I'm not afraid to stand and bang, but I'm also not afraid to go to the ground with him. I think I can submit him if we go to the ground, control him, stifle all his submission attempts, whatever he's thinking, I got an answer.
This kicks off our stream on Rumble tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Join us live. John Simon versus Quentin Culpepper. We have a welterweight contest. Welcome to the scales, Kyron Bowen. Official weight 168.9 for Kyron Bowen. And let's welcome to the scale, Perry Stagel. Perry steps on the scales. He weighs in 169.1. This welterweight contest now featured about the prelims live on Rumble is official. Kyron Bowen versus Perry Stagel. Next up, we move on to Locals 8 p.m. We kick off into our Grand Prix fights. First up, please welcome Brandon Goodwin. This fight at Braden fueled by X3. Steps on the scales, 123.1 for Braden. Next up, welcome his opponent, Livio Ribeiro. Stepping on the scales, Brandon Goodwin versus Livio Ribeiro. Next up, the ladies take center stage in the bantamweight division. Welcome from Slovakia, Veronika Smolkova. Veronika hits the scales, 134.6 for Veronika Smolkova. Welcome her opponent, Zurina Ture.
My name is Zurina Ture, and I'm fighting out of Legion MMA in Phoenix, Arizona. Tomorrow night, fighting for UFL 1 versus Veronika. It's going to be a throwdown. I have seen some of her fights. She's a savage, she's ready to scrap, and this is exactly what I need.
Next up, we've got more bantamweight action. Let's welcome Vladoya Abazian. Steps on the scales, 139.5 for Vladoya. Next up, welcome his opponent, Phil Karakapa.
My name's Phil Karakapa. I'm 30 years old, and I've been a professional for 7 years.
Phil Karakapa hits the scales, 134.6.
I'm from Freehold, New Jersey, and also fighting out of Freehold, New Jersey, Dante Rivera, BJJ. Tomorrow night, I'm fighting for UFL 1. My opponent is Valadia. He came in overweight, so to me, that's disrespect, and this shit's personal now. And I see this fight going whatever way I want to take it, whether it's finish this kid on the feet, round, don't matter to me. Be there, so be ready.
One more time, Vladoya Abazian versus Phil Karakapa. Now we have featherweights. Let's welcome first Chris Mekate. Chris steps on the scales, 147.3 for Chris Mekate. And let's what a fight this is. Let's give it up one more time. Chris Betaker versus Jose Delgado.
As excited as I am about all fights, there's one that I'm specifically really interested in just because it happened all in Freedom Fight Night events. We had Shane Sibnowski defeat Ty Gorder, and we had Shane Sibnowski defeat Dan Huber, and now Ty and Dan are going head to head for our first UFL round. I mean, it's fun just because that whole history is developed within our own organization already.
Name's Ty Savage Gorder. I've been fighting for 10 years and professionally for 5.
My name is Dan Huber, fighting out of Spartan Nation Combatives and Fitness in Mesa, Arizona.
Tomorrow, fighting for UFL 1, I'm fighting Daniel Huber. I know he's a wrestler. He's been in this game for a little while as well. I believe he's fought 9 years ago, and I was still an amateur.
Tomorrow night, fighting in UFL 1, fighting against the tough opponent, Ty Gorder.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna do what I do best and put guys on their butt and knock their lights out.
You know, you never know. When they lock the cage door, it's 2 combat athletes, professional combat athletes, and you gotta find out tomorrow night.
The main event of UFL 1 going down tomorrow night. You can catch it on Locals. Welcome first, Jared Gooden. Jared hits the scales 174.2. 174.2 for night trade. Jared Gooden. Now welcome his opponent, DeMarquez Jackson. DeMarquez hits the scales 169.8 for DeMarquez Jackson. This is our main event of UFL 1 tomorrow night. Give it one more time. Jared Gooden versus DeMarquez Jackson.
So hello, I'm Brian Lacey and I'm sat with the one, the only Frank Mir, and tomorrow night we're going to make history cage side as we are here for UFL 1. And Frank, there's loads of fights we could talk about, but I'm going to talk to you about just a couple of fights and I'm going to throw a fun fact at you. First of all, our co-main event, Jose Delgado.
Yeah.
This is a young kid that has become a star through Freedom Fight Night, through his reputation at the MMA Lab. His 3 professional fights have not lasted more than 2 minutes and 10 seconds combined. He specifically asked, he said, my favorite fighters are the likes of Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski. I want that type of fight. What they put him in against is a guy called Chris Betaker, and he is a 2-time National Division 1 wrestler, 4-time NCAA qualifier as far as getting in there. He trains a lot of wrestlers as well. Jose Delgado, we've seen him storm through people, but coming up against a skill set like that, those credentials, that's exciting, right?
That's rough. Usually, I mean, that just shows you the ability of Jose Delgado, his management, the confidence they have in him, because usually you avoid a guy like that. You're a tough wrestler like that. It's hard to even look good in a victory against them because you're constantly fighting off the takedowns. And Delgado is such a phenomenal striker. You saw his kicks, his punches, his movement. He's long for the weight class, so his striking is incredibly good. And he's really the new age MMA fighter where I don't know what his background is. I couldn't tell you by watching him fight. Did he start off as a wrestler? Did he start off in striking martial arts? He's extremely well-rounded, whereas his opponent is that more one-dimensional. You know, obviously his good hands and his strength, but his strength is to do the takedown and smother you and crush you and get you down. And a high-level wrestler on top of that, that's just a pain in the ass for anybody to fight and avoid. And the fact that Delgado's asking for that at this point in his career, which could derail a perfect record early on, most people would avoid it. That shows you the confidence that this guy has and the ability he has of what he's doing to guys that are similar to his opponent down there at the lab. Guys that are great wrestlers. It shows you how badly he's destroying everybody, where they're like, yo, throw him anybody, watch what happens.
And also, it's got to be one of the best walkouts, right? We heard the story. He comes out in his dead father's jacket. He's a construction worker that died when he was very young. It's already one of my favorite walkouts in MMA.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I mean, this could be a long show. We talk about that, and it's not going to be a quick snap. We'll have to say this for a podcast, but not having a father is probably one of the greatest detriments to people growing up. If you look in jails, they're filled with guys that didn't have a father or a male role model in their life to help guide them, teach them how to be a man. Here's somebody who could have walked that path, easily had the excuse of, feel sorry for me, these are the cards I was dealt, you know, and this is all I can be. And instead, he really looked, I mean, his older brother obviously helped influence and helped guide him, but then he looked out and searched. No one forced him into that gym to find Benson and to go ahead and find Crouch. He sat there, and guess what? When it got tough and they were hard on him, he could have left. This is a free society. He could have taken off and avoided the adversity of dealing with that kind of hardship that they're going to put you through that gym. The mental toughness that Crouch is known to put his athletes through is really almost second to none. I mean, he really favors the fact that he beats you up mentally in that gym. You're gonna have a hard time. You're really gonna become mentally tough. So he sought that out and found it and made that of himself. And that's why you see him go out there. He's such an inspiration to so many guys out there, because a lot of people are dealt a shitty hand in life. They don't have their father. They don't have that male role model. Here he goes, yeah, neither did I. I found it, I embraced it, and I looked to guide my life into who I am now.
Amazing. That's our co-main event. There's one lady fight on this card, and I want to talk to you about it because obviously you have got a rising star in MMA in Bella. These two young ladies, you have got someone coming over from Slovakia. You've got Veronika Smolkova. She went 5-0 in 2022. She claimed the Gamma European title in MMA, the Gamma European title in striking. She won her first professional fight by TKO to ground and pound. She's taking on the local fighter, Zarina Turi. Now, this lady is a banger, just an out-and-out fighter. She is 1-0, again, a destructive finish in her last fight. These two are going at it, and these fights, these are the ones that people maybe look over, but these lady fights, they could steal the show, right?
Oh, absolutely. I really enjoy watching the women fights. I think it goes back to the fact that why back in the day I really enjoyed calling for the WEC fights, because it was the lighter weight classes, because you saw more technique, and you also saw that someone could make one mistake and still come back from it and still fight. So the better fighter, I think, naturally wins more often than not. Where sometimes in the heavier weight classes, the better fighter makes one mistake and it's lights out or done. You get, and so it can be disappointing. It's almost like watching an American football game where they say, "Hey, first guy that scores wins." I'm like, well, that's not necessarily the best team, guys. And so watching the girls go out there and brawl, they have a lower knockout ratio, so you get to see better action. You see better technique. You get to see more of a game plan or the application of trying to figure out, oh, you're doing this, I'm gonna do this, the flows that they're gonna have. Chess match, the mental warfare is so much more exciting. I'm not watching a chess match where, well, the first guy takes a pawn wins. I'm like, well, that's kind of boring. You know what I mean? Hey, it can be exciting too. I like watching Mike Tyson fights like everybody else, and I've put a couple of those boring fights out myself where I kill people in 40 seconds. But for the most part, though, it's beautiful to watch this technique and this flow, and the ladies have it. These girls are extremely good, and it's amazing that somebody with that kind of record over in Europe coming over here, it really looks like a great person. People say, oh, it might be a mismatch. I'm like, well, you're doing a lot of adversity by traveling over here. That's a lot of mental toughness in itself. You come over here from England. It's not easy. When I travel, there's times I've thought about it. Man, I travel over to Russia and Slovakia, and when I land there, all I have to do is commentate, and I don't feel great at all. I can't imagine actually having to make weight like she did, and then she had some stresses leading up to this fight where her medicals were not being accepted at first. We had to make favors and calls to get things. So here you're dealing with so much mental, adversity. Again, the fighters have to deal with not just inside the cage. She's dealing with that. So then the local girl, she's not dealing with that as much, but she's going out there with the same pressure on her, which I think home field advantage is a horrible thing in MMA, because there you have your whole friends and family are all watching and all want tickets. We can talk about that at a later time. That becomes a pain. You're not even thinking about your own fight. You're trying to accommodate everybody, right? But there's a stress about that. I think there's the stresses of traveling and being fatigued and tired, but you kind of get to go to war by yourself. You go over there, it's just you and your team, and you get to go fight. And that's what she has on her advantage. Whereas when you're here at the home field advantage, it's like, yeah, but that means all friends and family are about to watch. It adds that pressure.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a fun fact at you as well, Frank. Okay, so in the UFC, and see if you can name this, there's only one fighter who has ever finished an opponent by toe hold. Can you name that fighter?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the guy.
Big guy called Frank Mir, right?
Yeah. It's funny, it bugs me about that though. It actually breaks the ankle, right? So I hit an omoplata.
Exactly.
And most people know it's a foot lock, you break the ankle, but we call it a toe hold because you're leveraging the side of the foot. It's just the name of the move. But there's so many people that don't train martial arts or grappling or jiu-jitsu go, oh, you squeezed his toe and made him tap? Which is kind of, I guess, bad on his part.
Give me your toe. Give me your toe. Let's go.
No, it doesn't work that way. No, I didn't squeeze his big toe and make him cry. You know what I mean? That's kind of funny, but no, it actually broke his ankle.
Listen, well, we have got 2 fighters on tomorrow night's card who have both got professional wins by toe hold. Ribeiro, the black belt, and we've also got Culpepper as well. Back to back, they will fight. Back to back, they have got toe holds on their record. As a view, it's rare, right? It's rare, and for people to catch that.
Right now, as people fighting the UFC that are high-level guys, I'm the only one that ever done it. You know, going back 2003, 2002.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't happen. It's kind of like the Twister and, you know, the Gogo Plata. There's certain moves that are effective. And it's funny, I don't know why the toe hold's actually not used more, because I hit it in practice all the time. It's there. Every time you can reach down and grab a guy's foot, knee bar, he blocks it, toe hold, he blocks it, heel hook. Like it goes into my revolving flow that I can flow into, and it works. It's a devastating move. I tap to it if you catch me with it. You know what I mean? I don't block it properly because it really breaks the ankle viciously. And I one time had a guy I tapped, and he still was going through with it, and it busted my ankle. I still got issues with it.
Oh my goodness. Well, listen, that sort of breakdown you can enjoy tomorrow night. We are live from 7 o'clock on Rumble. Then we move on to locals at 8 p.m. 10 fights for you to enjoy. UFL 1 is going down. History will be made. I will be cage-side with this man, the legend Frank Mir. So join us then. This is UFL 1. You cannot miss it.